Good morning. We made some purchases this month of February, and I had to say that we spent more than I expected, because at the beginning I even saved $40 for membership, to pay for membership for Sam's Club card, and we just spent yesterday on meat. So I just want to show you a little bit how my food budget is so far. So we make multiple purchases that I have now recorded, like video, but sorry about that. So I record the expenses, and I will show you on my spreadsheet how much we spent so far during this month of February 2020. But pretty quickly I can show you here. Yesterday we got the ad. In fact, the day before yesterday we got the ad for this week, and meat was on sale. Pork chops was on sale for 99 cents a pound, and it's now common for that to go that low, and I have seen it once so far. I mean, yesterday was the second time, but usually it's about $1.68 if it's on sale, and we will stock up. But in fall, which is when I would expect it, I didn't see it on sale, so we didn't buy pork chops. I think we bought one once in 2019. That's pretty much it. But now it was on sale for 99 cents a pound, and my husband told me about it. We discussed it because meat is still paying for the ground beef that we purchase. We use money from our saving account to pay for the ground beef that we purchased from in our in-laws farm. So the meat is paying it back, so I'm not taking money out for meat this month, and probably not next month either, so that I can pay off back to the saving. But then we saw meat on sale, and we say, well, we don't have money for meat, and we use pretty much most of our food budget as well, like not fruit but food, other groceries budget. And then we decided, well, we can use the money that we save for the membership to pay membership next month to buy the meat. So we bought the meat, and there was butter on sale as well for $1.98, and it used to be like $2.99. So that's $1.01 saving right there, and we bought 4 of them, and they are true butter, and I like to buy the salted one. And the reason is, one time I went to purchase them on sale, and I look at the ingredient, and the unsalted one has a sugar and some additive in it, and I didn't really like it. You know, the fewer the ingredient, the better. I mean, that's how I like it. So as for the ingredient here, is pasteurized cream and salt. That's pretty much it. So I mean, if you don't like a lot of salt, whatever you are putting in, you just don't add more salt to it. So that's why I like the salted one. The ingredients are very simple, and the unsalted one, which you would think might be probably expensive sometimes, but which you would think is healthier, will have some additive in it that you may not even know what it is, and some sweetener as well. So I like the salted one, and I purchased it for $1.98. And I think 2 years ago, or maybe 2 years ago, I purchased like 12 or 24 of them, which I used throughout 2019. But I didn't find them on sale, so I didn't purchase any in fall 2019. So we are very low in butter. I think we all have like less than one packet left. And my husband said we need to buy some butter. This is on sale, to purchase some, and he purchased 4 of them, and I'm going to put them in the freezer. I like to keep my butter in the freezer, and when I need one, I'll just go get it and put it in the fridge, and we will use it. I think this is a block. It's not really 4 in it. Probably this might be 4 wraps in this, but sometimes they come in blocks. But let me show you the meat. And before we get to the meat, let me show you how much we spent so far, because I'm going to take the camera off of the tripod to show you the meat. But as you can see here, on our food budget for the month of February, which is that month, the food staple, I like to call it, we spent about $98 right there. Milk is milk and bread. So we spent $16, almost $17 there. Non-food will be other groceries than our food. We spent $17 there. And on kids, I spent about $28. That include even their Valentine's gift that they share with their classmates and some other stuff that were kid related. Fruits, we only spent about $1.12 so far, but we use a lot of our fruit money in things that were purchased in this kid category here. So we still have $20 from the this month budget for fruit, when the budget that we said it was $60. So that means we spent about $40 on food category items coming from using the fruit money. And last month we have $20 saved as well. I still have that. So we have about $40 saved from the fruit budget between January and February. And meat, which we didn't take anything out of the $90 budget, we spent about $57. And that included we purchased last week, we purchased fried chicken one day, and I use it, and I'll just cook rice, and we use it with olive oil for dinner. So we just add the chicken to the rice and add olive oil on it, and that's it. That was the dinner. And we used that chicken, I think it was like 24 pieces or 20 pieces. Yeah, 20 pieces for $26 something. So I put it under this category as well. It's like $26.90 or something like that. It's, yeah, $26.90. So I put it under the food category, and I don't really buy a really made for eating like that type of food, but once in a while I like to buy those fried chicken because we don't go to restaurant. But my husband, my kids likes it too, so I just buy it. So that, you know, increase our spending in meat category. But we bought quite a bit of egg as well, and egg this week was like 47 cents a dozen from Aldi, and my husband purchased 6 dozen, and I think 2 weeks ago he purchased about similar amount as well. So we use the food money to make those purchases, and as you can see, we spent about $218.75 in groceries this month, when we budget $300 for it. But frankly, we took $210 out because we didn't take this $90 out. So we took $210 out, and we spent almost $9 over budget. So we have spent quite a bit this month. But yes, sometimes it can happen. And there is something that I have not mentioned either, was that there is peanut oil that I purchased. It's like 3 gallons for $32.48, and I had to use my allowances to purchase it because food couldn't afford it. And I wanted, at work there was a party involved, that was organized, and I wanted to make tortilla chips to bring along, and I didn't know if I have enough oil on hand, so we purchased that just in case, but we didn't end up using it like to fry the chips. So I have it, and I use my allowances for it, hoping that next month food will pay me back. But now food needs to, the meat will need to pay back food for the pork chops we purchase. and hopefully the food will be able to pay me back as well. So it might be probably next month or the month after, we will see. But I just think that it was important for us to get the meat. We still have a lot of ground beef, and because I have a lot of ground beef, I'm getting creative to make a lot of dishes that just will use ground beef. So as you can see here, that's our meat here is about 20 pound, 20.54 pound, and you can see it here, and I believe that's the price then 20. In fact, I found another receipt that I added to it. So the meat is about $24, and in fact, let me see here. I think I have the calculation here. The meat is 24.30, and I can divide that by 99 cents a pound, and we can see 0.99. Well, so 24.55 pound is what the meat is. 24.55 pound. So we spent $24.30, $24.20 on it, and we bought a bottle for $7.92. So, and as you can see, you will see that's 99 cents a pound, and that's about 70 pound, 0.70 pound. So this one was at 76 pound. And as you can see, the bread, I like to keep my bread in the freezer, and we like to use this for sandwiches. So this one was marked down twice to $1.43, and this one was marked down to $1. But usually they cost about, I don't know if you can see it, $3.98. And $3.98, and that's something I like to use for sandwiches. Like when I saute ground beef, I will add a little flour, a little broth to it, and I will cook it for a few minutes. After the meat is brown, and sometimes I'll add some vegetables to it or nuts, and we'll just use the bread, and just I'll bake it for at 350 degrees for 10-15 minutes, and we'll just slice it and add the meat in it. It's really like sloppy Joe type things without tomato involved, and we'll have sandwich for dinner. So I like to keep it, and that small roll, that's French steak rolls, and I like to keep it in the freezer. And if it costs $2.98 and I can buy for $1.43, I prefer to buy for $1.43. So I like to keep them in my freezer, and my husband purchased about 4 this month. So I just brought those two to show you, and I will show you the meat. In fact, what I like to do with those meats when I have them, let me show you, because I already organized my freezer before. By end of fall, when I got all my cells, vegetables, and meat at the end of fall, beginning of winter, I will reorganize my freezer in a way that I can access everything within 2 rows, so that I can go through everything together. And now that I got those meats, I'm going to bag them instead. So first, I like to keep the bread in a bag, because those plastic are not really made for freezer. Sometimes they might tear. So what I like to do, I like to keep them in the grocery bag. It doesn't have to be double, but I like to have at least one. It keeps them from freezer burns, I will say, because there is excess air in this bag itself. I like to keep them double. I just find that they are in better states like that. And when I wanted to bake them from the freezer, I'll just put them in the oven. For me to find my butter easily, I'm just going to buy them as well. And as for my meat, I put them, and my husband requested that they get wrapped individually, so they are individual. And then I think this one has 5 in it. They were sold maximum 5 pounds or something like that. So he made multiple trips. We have 3 stores in town, so he went to those 3 different stores, and after he picked up the kids at school, he went back with them and he purchased, and my oldest daughter purchased as well. So when there is sale with condition, like maximum a certain number, because we shop with cash, we can make multiple transactions. So sometimes you might do multiple trips depending on what you want to do. So that's something you can keep in mind when you are trying to shop for sales. You have options. You don't just have to work with what works for you, but that's how you can, feed your family on low budget. And my budget is $300 this year, and I had to tell you, for a family of 5, and right now we are 7. I have 2 other adults in the house. My parents are here. Usually my mom is with me, but then I have my dad as well. So having 4 adults and 3 kids, 7 people in the house, well, I don't increase my budget. Whether I have 6 people, 7, or just us 5, my budget is going to be the same. So I had to get creative to feed my household. And so that's $300 budget for 7 people this month. And that's what I do. When things I will sell, I stock up. And sometimes I had to use other type of funding, like my allowances, to buy a few things on sale, hoping that food will pay me back. And sometimes the grocery budget won't pay me back because it's just too tight. So $300 for 7 people a month is very tight, and that's the groceries, including everything and non-food as well. So we will see how it works out. It used to be $275, and I have little room in that, but $300 is very tight. But we'll see how we can make it work. So let me show you the olive oil, the peanut oil that I purchased as well, and how I'm going to put those in my freezer. I have 3 chest freezers, and frankly, I had to say that that's what allowed me to really purchase and sell and stock up, because without the freezers, I'll run out of space very quickly. So we might make multiple trips here. But I have my meat freezer here. And as you can see, I don't know what this bag is empty here. Let's see, I have 1 chicken here, and it was chicken that was like 49 cents a pound or something like that, or a little bit more expensive than that, but less than $1 a pound. It was 10-pound bag. So I opened the bag and I wrap it, put it in Ziploc bag, wrap it with a type of paper, and put it in another plastic before I seal it. We're down to one bag left, and that's my ground beef. Before it was pretty much up to the top. If you have seen my videos that I recorded when I got them, but now you can see how far we went down. And here I have pork roast in these sections all the way down. And I believe I have turkey in it, one turkey in it. I have some stuffed sausage here as well, especially in this section, and some bones to make broth. Bones to make broth here. So this is ground beef. Because I already organized things, I have pork and then I have ground beef here, but I don't have much space here because I'm not going through my pork much. I wanted to go through the ground beef more, so I'm going to just put my meat in bags. That way when I lift them, I'll have access to the ground beef easily. So let's go get the other 2 bags and add it to it. Now we probably get this one too, and those extra bag I'll put it here. When I'm putting meat in my fridge to store, I like to put them in bags so that they don't bleed blood in my crisper. So those came from with the freezer, but because they were full to the top, I had to take them out. So you can just that way it'll be easy to take those bags and get to my brown beef. So that's my meat freezer here, and I think one bread will come here as well because I don't think I have space in the second freezer for breads. So I have my breads here, and let's add one to the meat freezer. Even though they are all freezer for specific things, sometimes I'll add things to them. In fact, when I have time, I might go through my second freezer because we had to put some meat there. So now that we have space in the meat freezer, I should be able to move those meat back there so that I have space in my freezer here. So here I have 2 freezers here, one for vegetables and one for my butter and my breads. And as you can see, cheese, peas, I have some bread here as well, but I have meat down there, and I have some those ice cream. And when I fry the chips, I save the oil because the oil was not burnt. Still, it's better I can reuse it. So I'll add my bread here. And I'll add my butter. But I have some meat here that now I can take out of here and put in the other freezer. That way I'll have space in this freezer. And this freezer is just for those sometimes cooked food might go here. And I have a lot of herbs, all butter, herb butter or herb oil that I have made. I believe this one is winter savory oil, so I'm not going through them fast enough. So they are here, and I can quickly show you how far we got with my grains. Even some bread got their way here as well. You know, that's how I suffer some breads. That way, when you want to eat sandwich, we can just get them, and you can see how much we purchase from as well. That's 143 there, and that's just the same type of bread. And 143 as well, and that's the same type of bread. And as you can see here, let me see if I can bring the lights. I'm not sure I'll be able to bring the light closer. But that's my vegetables freezer. The beginning of winter, it was really full to the top. But as you can see, we are getting down. But I'm not cooking a lot of vegetables. I have some zucchinis here. I should make some zucchini soup. But I have corn, potato from my garden, onion from my garden, corn, we purchase it on sale. But just to show you that during the spring, summer, fall, I will harvest a lot from the garden. I will chop a lot of vegetables, and I will just prep them and put them in my freezer. I don't even boil them or anything. I'll just clean, chopped and put in bags and put in my freezer, and that's what I use in winter time. So when I'm shopping in winter time, I don't buy vegetables pretty much. Sometimes I might buy green peas. Rather than that, I don't buy vegetables. So you won't see vegetables in my grocery list really. Now let me show you potatoes, because at the beginning of winter I have over 100 pounds of potato and over 100 pounds of sweet potatoes. Let me show you how far we got with our potatoes. And at one point I have shown it when there was potatoes in those boxes. Now they are all empty, and this one is empty too, but I believe we have potato at the bottom. And as you can see, they are growing there, but we have about 10 pounds. I put them about 10 pounds in each box, so they are growing there. And we have about 5 pounds here and about 5 pounds there too. The other two boxes are empty, so we have about 10 pounds here, and we can see them growing here. Let me show you more. That's what they do in winter time when you purchase them. Let me put you down here. Sorry about that. And as you can see, this one, they are growing here too. So I have about 30, 40, about 50 pounds of potato on hand. Usually when they are growing, you know, it's good to just come and snip those growth off as well. I don't do that much. I just try to cook them so that we can go through them. But I noticed that when I purchase them before winter, during winter they will start to grow. But if I purchase it in spring, they will last longer, well through summer without growing, without sprouting. So those are my potatoes. I have about 50 pounds. on hand of potatoes. As for my sweet potatoes, we have not cooked them much, so I still have them here, and those boxes are empty as well. And I have sweet potato there as well. Let me see if I can organize those boxes a little bit better. As you can see, my sweet potatoes, they are not sprouting or anything at all, so they last longer. In fact, now that I have more empty boxes, I should separate them. And this one, I don't know if you notice it, but it's trying to sprout. And more here as well. They are not going bad at all. I think this one is a little bit, yeah, there are a few here that are not in good shape. I had to go through them, but overall they are doing okay. And I have another box here as well, so I think I should go through them to have them spread out the way I have my regular potatoes. But as you can see, it was over 100 pounds of sweet potatoes, and I think we still have close to 100 pounds or a little bit below 100 pounds of sweet potatoes. But as for the potatoes, we ate half of that already. So I have sweet potatoes on hand, and technically they are vegetables. So those are my vegetables, my staples. And I have a larded broth and chicken, canned chicken and broth on those shelves. And by the way, those are strong shelves unit. I might even put it in the description in case you are looking for something to put your things in it. I used to put my canned items in my pantry upstairs, and one day the shelf just came off the wall and things fell on the floor. Luckily I didn't have any broken jar, and I moved them down, and I started looking for shelves to put them on it. So, and I came out with these that I purchased online, and they are very sturdy. The pound is very, the number of pound they can, the maximum of pound they can support is quite high, and you can adjust them because they have these things. It's very easy to put together, but I did it with my husband. I don't know if I'll be able to do it by myself, but there are things that you can just hook up, so you can change the height. And because at one point I have water in the basement that came from one of the window, and I didn't want to have things on the floor, so it was another decision that made me go with the shelves, so that I can have things up off the floor, so that if there is water, you know, I don't have to lose things, because I have kids toys in the basement and they got wet, and I had to toss a lot of things. So it was one of the reasons I use those to put things in now, and I have shelves to store those my items in the basement, so that it look more organized and off the floor, easy for me to clean the floor without moving things around. So they are very sturdy, and they are keeping my jars safe. And I just put my jars in the box that they came with, and I just store them, and I'll store the lid in my thoughts. But that's a very strong shelf units, and I have multiple of them in the basement, and we just space them high enough for what we want. So that's, I would really recommend them. I've been using them for 2 or 3 years now to hold my can jar. Those jars can be really heavy, so, and I can show you. In fact, I have another one there too that is not that sturdy, but it's holding a lot of things too, and that's this one. yeah, it's holding quite a bit there as well for me, but the bottom one is quite low, close to the ground compared to the other one, but they are all holding very well. They are holding items for me very well. So if you're in the basement, you are not handyman enough to poke a hole in the wall and install strong shelves, unit or support straight into your wall. I mean, you can go with, these shelf units, and that's the same one. And I don't, you can see the things for Gladiator. I think it's Gladiator. So you can, don't know if you'll be able to see the name here. It's a little bit dark, but it's Gladiator. So yeah, it's very supporting my things here, and I have a lot of canning items here as well. And this is the oil. We run out of this one, and we purchased this one. So it's peanut oil, and it's 3 gallons, so about $32.48. And it turned out to be cheaper than if I was buying 1 gallon size. And I like to use it for frying and cooking. And we bought this one in December, and we pretty much ran out of it this month. I use it to fry the rest. And as you can see, I have things in tote here, and the one on the floor are donations. So I have things, those are kids items, kids toys, and some of them are books. But you can see I have another similar shelf unit here to hold some of my totes. It has blankets because I'm using my linen closet for pantry and for kids school supplies. So I have my linen in here, and then I have my office supplies in those totes. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. But I have my office supplies in here. And I have a lot of office supplies, so a lot of totes here. I'll put it away later. A lot of totes here are office supplies. Then I have toilet paper there. So that's how I organize my things in my basement. It was not the purpose of this video, but well, we got into storing our food and storing our other items in our basement. But I just want to show you how we purchase those meats this month when we have a lot of ground beef on sale. I mean, a lot of ground beef that we purchased, and we didn't really need meat, but we thought it was a good idea for us to buy those chops that were on sale. They are going in the freezer, they are not going bad or anything, and we didn't have the money for it. But we have grocery money that we save for something else, and we thought it was a good idea to use it to buy those meats. And next month we'll have to come up with that membership amount as well to pay to renew our membership, so that I can buy rice for my pantry, because I think I have about 1 bag of rice that I have not opened, 25-pound bag in my pantry, but I like to have about 2 on hand. So now that I have 7 people in the house, it's good to have those staples on hand so that we don't run out of food. Thank you for watching. I'm Afia Viojuna Marininette Liberman, creators of Liberman Consulting's L.L.C's YouTube channel and owners of Dana Soap. Thank you.